Yay, we're here. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. If you caught the title, we have a special guest here today. Of course, it's a special show. As you can tell, it just looks different. It's not a green screen either. This is real brick. We put this in earlier today. Fernando, in a former life, laid some brick. And we're not talking about yeah. Anyways, today we have a bunch of new stuff. Grab your camera, Fernando.
Yes.
And I just want to give you a preview of what's going on. Look at that. Oh boy. That's 10 inches right there, guys. Oh, those look nice. So we're going to show you these guys today. Pull the camera up a little higher. And we got more over here. That's right. They're just everywhere. So get ready, relax, sit back. Let's talk about Kenwood and JVC, or the Kenwood JVC Corp, depending on what side of the fence you're on with that one. We don't want to ruffle any feathers, correct? Yes. All right. Let's bring him out. The man, the myth, the legend, Seth Halstead. Okay, so we were debating the other day. We're going to go off topic right away.
Yes.
What nationality is that?
Seth Halstead?
I was guessing. I just want to make sure.
What were you guessing? I mean, that's the question.
I was guessing something. Naturally, I said German first.
Interesting.
And then I was like, although I'm thinking like more Viking, somewhere Norway,
Viking.
that area, that Norwegian kind of part of the world.
You hit it. Norwegian.
Nice.
Primarily.
See,
Hey,
I got it. See, because I originally said German. I go, you know what? He's Viking all the way. Anyways, sorry. All right, thank you guys for watching. That's it. No. All right, let's get right to it. Let's jump in. We got a lot of stuff to talk about.
That's right.
We have two radios sitting on the counter. Which one where do you want to start? Because we have a lot of stuff to cover, and I don't want to take any of the thunder.
You know what? This is your show. I want you to run.
Oh,
We've got
gosh.
so much fun stuff here.
I know.
We just got to get into it, and things will come naturally.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. I'm
All
just gonna
right.
lighten this up just a little bit because that. All right. You know what? Let's go for the big guns because this is it right here. This is the big gun, right? This is the Mac
That's it.
Daddy.
This is production model. This literally just got flown in from Japan. Literally.
What is it?
This is the DMX1057XR. So you said big guns. This is next to the big guns. The big guns is really the DNR1007XR.
This is
So maybe we should kick it up a notch.
All right, let's kick it up a notch.
All right.
I just
So,
look for more numbers. I'm not
The
gonna lie.
Elite, the Flagship, the DNR1007XR. So this is creme of the crop, 10.1 inches, built-in Garmin navigation, and let's get into it.
So before we go on, let's talk about XR for a minute because a lot of people always ask us and they'll say, "Hey, what's the best radio?" And I'm totally biased. I'm not gonna lie. I have in my car right now. I have the 996 XR. Thank you. What makes XR better than regular Exelon?
It's a great question. So, we've had Exelon reference for many years. And we recently, I should say the past couple of years, really tried to separate it as the elite tier of products within the Kenwood line of products. So we
Exactly.
have Kenwood regular line, Kenwood Exelon, and then as you see with the logo there, Exelon reference. So reference, well, it stands for that. It stands for the reference in product quality. There's a lot of things that go into it, but predominantly it's sound quality. The components, we refer to them as tuned audiophile grade components that are used in these products. These are high sound quality parts. We put in better quality parts for the sound reproduction into our Exelon reference receivers.
So this is the best of the best with honors.
It's the best of the best with honors. In fact, you'll see when we take it out of the box, there's even some smaller changes. There's an X chassis that helps with vibration to the circuit board that we can talk about. So there are a lot of things that go into the Exelon reference line of products, but it ultimately stands for reference, the best of the best.
I didn't even realize there was an X chassis. I've never. So over off to the side here, which we're going to show you, we have the regular line Kenwood model, and because there's three Kenwood 10-inch.
Yeah, there's three Kenwood
I know,
10.1
it's
inch
like,
models.
wow, what the
there's
heck?
the DMX1037S, which is the Kenwood regular line. Then we have the DMX1057XR.
This guy right here.
There's the first one, 1037S. The DMX1057XR.
What makes this one different from this one?
Great question. There are two differences.
I'm going to ask a lot of those. You don't have to keep patting me on the back.
But it's a good question because it's something that we put into our training materials. We think it's really important because we know that all of you are probably wondering that, and it's a question that many are going to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Two predominant differences. In fact, two differences. One, there's an SD card input on the DNR1007XR.
And that's
now,
for the Garmin?
That is for the Garmin. In fact, you can use it for Garmin updates in the future. However, for the first year or two, or if you ever don't do the updates, it's used as a source. In fact, on my receiver, I use my SD card as my primary source. I just like to use it to listen to music because it's hidden away, out of sight, out of mind.
So I'm going to use that weird word, video. Can
Yeah,
you use
absolutely.
video off SD?
Yes, and that's a dual zone video source as well.
Really? You
Wow.
can use it as selectable. Do we know what codecs it'll take for video?
Yeah, I have a list of all the codecs that it will take for video. Primarily, it's not limited to just MPEG-1 and MPEG-2 like some of the basic formats
Yes.
with USB. It's MPEG-4, H.264,
Oh,
it's
okay.
WMA. I mean, it's
Perfect.
it's all the common formats it's
Alright,
going
so-
to accept.
SD card slot with GPS.
And then the other big one, the built-in Garmin navigation system.
Oh, okay. So that's
Yeah, of course.
that's the difference.
That's
Yeah.
huge, and we've got some
Okay.
big upgrades for that this year. 3 years of free map updates,
Oh, wow.
which is new for 2020 for us, and then 5 years of INRIX traffic service.
One other thing about Exelon, for those of you guys who don't know, Exelon means 2-year warranty.
2-year warranty.
All right, Fernando, let's open this thing up.
All
Why don't you
right.
swing around the
Yeah.
the daisy chain here, and we're gonna open this up. We're gonna hit it with the Fernando cam so we can take a look at this.
All right, hang on.
He's gonna get tall.
I'm gonna get tall.
He's standing on the
Can't even
stool.
see it.
All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, so we'll do picture in a picture so you guys can see. Look at my shoes. Oh, wrong foot. There we go. All right, we have two little red pouches here. What are these?
Well, first of all,
Oh.
this right here is probably the most important piece
I
in
bet-
the entire box.
This is the lock.
Right here. This will allow or, well, prevent the receiver from ever powering on. So, critical to the operation of the receiver.
So this is like that other manufacturer that has something like this that goes on, and there's like is there a pin switch underneath this?
You'll see as soon as you
Okay.
press it in that it's critical to the operation. The receiver powers on
All
or
right,
not.
so
with it in
don't
place.
lose the red bags.
red bags, critically important.
So this is the cover. So this is a little piece cover there.
These are two black pieces
Hold on,
that
we're gonna
will
knife.
cover the receiver chassis itself when you have it installed in the inward position. So you'll see, or I should say, in the box here, in the package,
Okay.
this is going to be for the outward position. So the outward position is how I currently have this model set up right here,
which will show
which we'll show in just a moment.
Yeah, got to build up the excitement here.
We will.
All right, hold on.
And then it comes pre-installed on the chassis in the inward position.
Don't
so
cut
this
the
is
bag,
when
Fernando.
you
Oh,
want to
yeah, okay.
change it to the outward
sure.
So
position.
these are these cool little.
And you know, we looked at a lot of different methods when creating things like this to be able
Yeah.
to hide what's exposed. We looked at, you know, there's accordion style methods that you can use, surrounds, and we thought that the black plastic really looked the best.
I agree. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. So we got a bag of screws with Loctite on them. So these are critical.
These are critical. These are what are going to be used, as we'll show you, to physically install the panel to
Those
the
are the ones
chassis.
that go on the side.
They're actually the ones that go straight down
Oh, okay.
to connect the chassis to the panel itself. And then there's also these two little metal pieces, which we'll use here to be able to expand the panel to its outward position.
Okay. One USB.
One USB.
Okay. So when it
So,
comes
so,
to-
so let me ask a question. Why just one USB? Why would we do that?
because you figured out that you don't need two when you have wireless.
It's absolutely the case. And in fact, when you do need that extra source, you know, we asked a lot of people. We each year, we
I
go
really
around.
like those gray USBs, by the way. I'm gonna miss those.
Okay. So
I have a stash of them.
yeah, absolutely. So you know, there's really no reason for dual USBs
No,
at this
I
stage
agree.
in the game.
All right, so one
All right.
USB.
One USB, that's perfect.
All right, we have the wireless microphone.
No,
standard
wireless.
Wired
Just
microphone.
Wire-
Wired
okay.
microphones. It's not wireless.
Well, I used to call them Bluetooth, but they do so much more now. So I meant
and they're not wireless. They're a wired Bluetooth microphone.
Hands-free microphone. That's what my brain was saying. My mouth didn't work that well.
That's right.
All right, so we have the hands-free microphone. We have the GPS antenna. Now, the GPS antenna has to be connected.
It does have to be connected.
It has the white stripe on it, so I might assume that if you're doing an older vehicle that does not have vehicle speed sense or VSS, that this GPS antenna will allow us to work.
I think I know where you're going with this, and basically this helps to differentiate the older style GPS antennas that did not have the GLONASS for more precise positioning.
What's it called?
GLONASS?
GLONASS.
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 It's really a tricky word. We're just going to move past it.
It is. We'll keep going. But this last year, we expanded the ability for the Garmin navigation to have more precise, more accurate routing, which is one of its big upgrades. So this helps to differentiate.
And this is the differential between those antennas.
Yeah, there's physical changes on the inside, but the outward noticeable changes is the white tape.
I had a dealer call me they were putting in the new radio, and the wireless wasn't working. It kept giving him the warning for VSS connection.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, and Fernando's like, "Did you change the antenna?"
And that would be the other side of things, absolutely.
Yeah. Now, CarPlay obviously will work with this antenna. It'll give you wireless.
Yeah. Now, little tidbit here. The last couple of years,
Go ahead.
most manufacturers have not been including a GPS antenna on models that don't have built-in navigation. You notice that to have CarPlay, Android Auto, they 4 or 5 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago at first onset, we included a GPS antenna on all Apple CarPlay and Android Auto ready receivers to be able to help really just lock in on the positioning, make it a little bit more accurate.
If it's in the pocket, the cup holder, the armrest, something, yes.
Yes. So the last couple of years, both Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, a part of their certification process, they started not requiring that GPS antenna. They said, well, just with the phone itself, it's going to be accurate enough. And that's why you saw a lot of our receivers and other manufacturers stop including the GPS antenna on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto ready receivers.
Which I'm not complaining about.
So it was not required. But it appears that they're reverting back and saying that, we really would like the experience to be as good as possible, and so we're going to require GPS antennas again. So my suspicion is if that hasn't been solidified, you're going to start seeing that as a requirement for all receivers going forward with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Just a suspicion. But nevertheless, yes, it does have to do with not just Garmin navigation, but it has to do with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and then our DRVN520, our dash cam input. It is critical for the operation of that on the Kenwood models.
Yeah, that's cool. Perfect. All right, let's get back to the Fernando cam here. Woo. All right, picture-to-picture on. Power harness. This is the same harness that we had in previous models. So this is. So if you have the older radio, you can. Wow. Okay. So the autofocus box just came on. That's neat. Wasn't expecting that. All right. So here we go. We have the same harness. Same standard fine thread screws, owner's manual. Let's get to the good stuff. I'm gonna go down here because this is big. Ooh, okay, so it comes in a cooler, so this is like some Omaha steaks.
It is. Now, full disclosure, I've taken the plastic off of this when I took it out to shoot some photos of it.
I would expect nothing less.
But tried to put some plastic back over top of it, so it will come a little bit more sealed than it looks like now.
Apparently you learned how to open bags with Fernando.
That's right. That's right.
It's an ongoing joke on the show. Fernando, don't rip the bag!
Just as soon as I get a new product, take it off.
All right, there it is.
Wow.
All right, so
come on this side.
Come on this side. Look at that. All right, so talk to me. What am I holding in my hand?
So, of course, you've got the panel itself here. This is a full 10.1 inches. This implements our new optically bonded display. What in the world is optical bonding? Well, let's talk about
somewhere?
that.
Okay.
So typically, there's a layer of air in between the LCD and the panel itself. And you've noticed in the past on, who knows what radio it would have been, that there could be some little air bubbles or dust that can get in between there.
Yes.
Well, that's impossible on these receivers. And in fact, all 4 of these 10.1s, both the JVC and all 3 of the Kenwoods, have this new optically bonded display technology. So it serves multiple purposes. Number 1, there's no air bubbles, no gaps in between it. It's literally optical bonding. It's glue. It's a layer of glue, basically, for all practical purposes, that completely press together. Then it also serves a dual purpose. So these use an AAS, azimuthal anchoring switch display, so that from off-axis viewing, there's virtually no washout, very, very minimal reflection when it's turned on.
So is that similar to what the current screens have as far as that off-axis goes?
It is. That AAS is the same technology, that we're using. But when you couple that with the optical bonding, it takes it to the next level.
Because let me tell you what, I was driving back from seeing Bill out in Tampa, and so I was coming here, and the sun was behind me, and I never really noticed how well it worked until it was a total wash, and I could see it perfect, and I was like, oh wow.
The first time I was able to experience that here, it was amazing. Again, this
we
takes
get sunlight here in Florida
to the next level.
Oh, that's phenomenal. All right,
so this is going to be, the panel itself, you're going to notice that it has some adjustments on it. So on the side of this here, there are 2 screws on each side. This will allow the panel to actually, it's kind of like a rail system that goes up and down.
Slides up and down.
So you can physically, fixed by screws, 2 on each side that we can put up and down. This is an angle adjustment that it's almost impossible to move unless you have it connected to the chassis.
Yeah, because I'm like,
it's so solid. So
all right,
you showed me up, you moved it, but it's extremely solid.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Got
That's
it.
literally what it takes to do.
Yeah.
So it doesn't bounce on a road.
No.
And having that easy angle adjustment when it's in the vehicle,
I do
critical.
like that.
That's awesome.
That is super cool. Oh, and it has some negative tilt to it, obviously.
It does.
So we have negative tilt, which is nice. So it's gonna come up to the dash at like that angle, which is really slick.
Nice.
Awesome. All right, and of course, all right. So let me find this piece here. So this goes over it like once it's screwed in. This is gonna go over it like this, correct?
Yes.
All right. And those are the 2 screws there. So I'm assuming that the other piece, the radio side, has what this is pushing down.
Yep.
Believe so.
You'll see it.
All right. Well, all right. I'm gonna set this aside, and I'm gonna grab the other piece.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Here we go. Don't rip the bag.
There's your X chassis, by the way.
Oh yeah, dude. I don't know how I've missed that. That is funny. Yeah. So we have. Here's what we were talking about. Okay. Here's our X here, and if you pan up and see the non-X chassis, so it's just a flat piece of metal. Huh. Is it always been like that?
Exclusive to Exelon reference. We've had it for the last several years.
I can't
Wow,
believe
you even didn't notice. Wow.
I get the duh. All right.
All right. So let me see it.
So this is a double din chassis.
Yeah.
This actually okay. So it goes. This is the bottom.
Yep. Just like that.
All right. So we got little doors here.
So this is going to be what's used to put in these other plastic pieces that we had sitting out here. If you want this to go in the outward position.
Okay.
Or a little bit closer to you if you're in the vehicle.
Which we'll show in a little bit.
Now on the bottom of the receiver, there are 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, that allow this to then expand outward. When that expands outward, and in fact I should say, when you pull this off, you actually have to unscrew the 2 screws and replace these pieces of metal that we have here to go in their place.
These guys here.
So this just pops right off. Now, before we get questions on, go ahead, it'll pop right off, you'll see it.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yep, and then you've just got the 2 screws once
it
comes out that you can go in place. This right here is where the SD card slot is on the DNR1007XR, which is what we're looking at. The other models, you will notice that it shares this basic piece of plastic, but there is no actual SD card slot to try to push into there. So it looks like it has it, but it doesn't. Only the DNR model has that.
Okay, I'm trying not to move it fast, but I'm just looking at it because I'm curious, as always. All right, we got it. This needs to go on there in order for it. Silly question. Is there any plans for an extension cable so that you can separate the 2?
So as you can imagine, when we started developing and talking about this product, we had all of our dreams as well. And sometimes you have to take steps before you can make leaps.
Okay.
And so we're moving forth with some great future products and ideas.
Okay.
And
because this is the first. This is the first.
This is the largest model we've ever had.
You've never had anything like this that has a standalone or removable or anything other than something that folds out of the dash, and you guys haven't done that in years.
Right. And we wanted to do this right. You're going to notice when you see the mechanics behind this, what our engineering put into this, how solid everything is, how solid everything mounts.
Yeah, no,
it'll make sense.
Yeah, I like it. Duck. Oh. All right, let's talk about the back here real quick. We have a bunch of yellow connectors coming off the back. Talk to me about these.
Okay, so you've got your camera inputs on there. So you're going to have a front camera input, which also duals as a dash camera input for the integrated dash cam on the Kenwood models. That is exclusive to the Kenwood models.
It's got the yellow flag.
Yes. Now, these are assignable inputs, as you'll see on the GUI, so you could actually connect the CMOS-740 HD camera. You can connect the CMOS-320 camera. So why do I bring that up? Well, the CMOS-320 camera is our multi-view camera. It comes with that switch. And you'll notice here that on the Kenwood models, there's going to be some wires that say cam minus and cam plus. And so the cam minus and the cam plus wires, which is this one right here, will connect to the CMOS-320 camera. You could use that as a front or a rear camera and then have touchscreen controls so you can literally touch the screen to be able to change the views, access the settings on the camera, so on and so forth. Side note on that. So besides your front camera inputs, you'll have your rear camera input. You're also going to have a third view camera input, which you could assign as a left or a right camera if you were using an iDatalink module with a supported vehicle. You're going to have your video input cable. Now, there are a few things that want to make note of. There's a video input and then there's a video output.
Yes. Okay,
so the video output itself is the composite video output. Sometimes people get confused a little bit about how our AV input works. So, we have our CA-C3 AV audio video input cable.
That's the aux jack to 3 RCA.
It is. And of course, it uses a proprietary, which is not necessarily proprietary, but it's not universal across the board.
We've done a video on the whole pin configuration. So we've ordered them all from Amazon and took them all through. So we do have a video explaining that whole thing.
So you've got that. So our cable, of course, is the right pin configuration, and it's in fact automotive grade, which is a bonus.
Correct.
Now you'll see that the AV input goes into the AV in, but there's another
this one.
Same 1/8 inch jack that says AV out audio.
Correct.
And the AV out audio is literally a headphone jack to RCA for your rear audio outputs. Sometimes that gets confused with that being a need for the CA-C3 AV cable, but that's not a 4-pin style configuration. So that I just wanted to clarify that.
So that cable is paired up with this cable.
The video out.
Yeah,
correct.
So that's the pair there. Now this one that says video in, is this selectable as a camera input as well?
That would be for the camera input, correct, if you're using it as a camera input.
We have 4 camera inputs?
4 total camera inputs. But that's in place of the AV input. So we're not including we used to include a yellow cable on some of the models to be able to plug in there. So you can use that if you want, or you can use just the video input composite cable. So you don't need that cable. Right.
Oh, so these are in
that's
parallel.
why we're not including it.
Okay.
There you go.
So this video in is in parallel with this video in. Oh, that is cool.
Right.
Dude, no one is going to get that.
That's why we're here.
Nobody's going to get that.
There's a lot of unique things on this that make a lot of sense when you
it makes total sense, but okay. And of course, it's iData compatible.
Your RCA pre-outs there. 5-volt pre-outs on the Exelon reference models.
What are we here?
The Kenwood DMX1037S. One difference. These are 3 sets of 4-volt pre-outs on the DMX1037S. The JVC KW-Z1000W is going to have 3 sets of 5-volt pre-outs as well.
So this is 5, the JVC is 5, the entry-level Kenwood is 4.
Correct. And then you mentioned the iDatalink. Now, huge differences with iDatalink Maestro, of course.
We'll come back to that because we have a demo set up, so we'll bring that up. Real quick on the dash cam.
Dash cam.
Can we do a dash cam and 4 cams?
No.
Okay.
The dash cam would take the place because it uses
front
not only
cam.
the data cable, but it uses a composite video cable as well.
Okay.
Okay.
That was. But you could still use one of the others to do a front cam if you wanted. So
You can
have a
do
dash-
multiple front cameras. You can select the third view camera input as a front camera input.
Okay, Fernando, I want you to zoom into that little hole right there. This little hole. You can't see what that is. That's a black hole. But you know what that black hole is, guys? Can you see that? Is the light?
Right
What
there.
does that say? That says HDMI.
That's right.
That's an HDMI input.
So when asked about, do we need multiple USBs or what do you all need for inputs, we were told, how about HDMI again? So rather than fight the cause of what you can do with AV inputs and adapters, we said this is premium, this is the best of the best, let's not leave anything out. It's got HDMI.
But I'm looking at the entry-level Kenwood and the JVC, and they both have HDMI too.
So before you start that, somebody asked a question about what about JVC? It has the same thing as the Kenwood?
Yeah, we definitely want to talk about some of the differences.
We'll get to the differences.
Okay.
Let's keep going on JV. So let's finish the HDMI thought, because a lot of the features that are on this are going to be on all the other ones. So if we cover this one, we can always down-res as far as what we don't have. So now we have an HDMI input.
And some important things about
Yes.
the HDMI. Why is there that screw and that metal piece around there?
This thing that Fernando was just showing you.
It's done strategically because HDMI cables are typically going to stick out, and we don't want to take up any more space than we have to. So it's inset on the receiver itself.
Bite your tongue. You're not. You're supposed to have things that stick out of the back of the radio.
So again, ideal fit for our KCA-HD100
Which
cable.
I think is right there.
And it is an automotive grade cable,
grab the
which
cable,
is
Fernando.
something that is important. That means that it's heat and fire rated, but it's also
Okay.
the correct size. You'll notice some HDMI cables have a very thick surrounding, which may not physically fit into place, which is why it's important to use that cable for Kenwood. We also have the JVC KW-Z1000W HDMI cable as well. Again,
Same
heat rated,
cable,
automotive
just-
grade.
Yeah.
Yep, separately branded.
Wow. So you see how big that is, and that'll just fit right into that hole. Perfect. And it is. I don't know. What is this? 4 feet?
I think it's 39 inches. It's roughly 3 feet.
It's like Fernando size, so that's cool. Yeah.
It almost is.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
It's plenty of length.
What
we need tossling output. Okay.
yeah.
So let's put all the things
Yes.
out on the table. It's a full double DIN chassis.
Yes.
It is. It's a full double DIN chassis.
Correct.
So one thing that's great about that, as heavy as these panels are, it's extremely solid.
Yes, because you have all mounting brackets.
I've had other dealers tell me they've had things break with ones that don't have that. So, it is what it is. It's a solid mount, which is a great benefit to it. A lot of good stuff inside of there. No audio output digitally, and there's, of course, a whole conversation with that. But, we're a global company. We sell products worldwide, and sometimes in thinking about what it means to have digital output, it gets a little confusing with AM/FM tuners and how you're able to get sound output or lack thereof in a digital fashion. And
Okay.
so because there's specific limitations like that, that can have some bigger ramifications to us globally. And it's just something that we're not opposed to. We're hearing that there's a need for it. There's a smaller need for it. It's not the vast majority of our sales.
It's SQ.
Yep.
It's the SQ guys who want to go into a DSP.
But we did something else.
What did you do?
So we'll talk about that as to what we can do with sound quality
All right.
to enhance some things that's,
We're
again,
ready to-
brand new for us.
Should we graduate onto these then?
Let's do it.
Okay. One other thing is Sirius XM compatible. So,
Yeah.
Of course, Sirius
Yeah,
XM
yeah.
port there on the right-hand
yep.
side.
All right, we're going to switch back over to the Fernando cam, and here we go. This is
the JVC KW-Z1000W. Now, you're seeing the live wallpaper on the display right now. The live wallpaper is an extremely cool feature.
It is.
Yeah, you can see it. We just posted today just a little video that shows the live wallpaper in action. So it's no hidden fact that these radios share some resources, some engineering resources. Certain things are the same, certain things are very, very different between the two. You know, we really reach out to two different audiences. Of course, either brand could be for any customer.
Correct.
However, all right, typically the JVC is marketed to the flashier type audience. Now that may be considered a younger audience, it may not. Somebody that's more into lights and excitement, you notice that occurring. So that's going to the beat of the music on the JVC side. So the graphic user interface, when you look at the JVC and you look at the Kenwood, you're getting a completely different experience between the two.
Yes. Oh, there's no question about it. That is...
There's also one other big difference between the two that's blatantly obvious.
Big
and
knob?
that's, of course, yes. There's a big knob, there's a volume knob multifunction controller on the Kenwood models, and on the JVC it just has the physical buttons themselves. Something that else that's really unique to JVC is their quick functionality. So maybe it goes hand in hand with the specific user itself.
All right, if you want to swing
But
around the other
if you
side.
take a look, on the JVC models, you're going to see that we'll go ahead and go past the main display here, get rid of the message. The first here is advanced gesture touch control. Anybody that's ever been a fan of JVC models has probably seen gesture touch control before. Gesture touch control allows you to use your fingers and control things like volume, track up and down. So for example, if I just select a source, doesn't matter what it is, if I want the volume to go up, I can just take my finger and go like this.
That's my
turn the
favorite
volume
feature.
up
That
and
is
down.
totally Fernando's favorite feature.
So that's
I
called
didn't even
gesture
know.
touch control.
I didn't even know they did that, and we were putting a JVC in, and he had sold JVC, and he's over there. I'm going, what are you doing? And he's like, yeah, this is how this works. And I was like, okay.
And then you can slide your finger one direction, another direction. So that's your gesture touch control. Now,
What do they call? I'm sorry.
gesture touch control.
There you go.
Now, something else that's unique to the JVC is going to be its ability to do quick setup with specific fast keys or favorite keys. So there's this selection here that's called key assignment. Key assignment allows you to do a favorite customize. So on the graphic user interface, there's a favorite, and then on the physical button themselves, there's a favorite. So I can just select that I want the GUI to be the phone, and for the hardware, I can select that I want that to be audio speaker controls. Now, at any point in time, I can select this favorite button, and we just assigned it to be Bluetooth to phone, so it's taken us to the Bluetooth screen. If I press the function button right here, just simply press and hold, that's going to take me to the audio speaker setup menu because that's what I asked that to be selected as. So the favorite is one of the big differences between the two brands. Then you're going to see this section up here. So this section, you notice right now it says camera, speaker, and a plus icon. When I go into the setup menu, I'm going to select key assignment and then customize FNC. You noticed camera, audio, speaker. Let's select 3. Let's change it to something completely different like volume offset. So now, when we're on the home screen, anytime we select this function button, you're going to see that now you've got your quick access to those functions. So again, maybe it's tailored to the younger user, maybe it's just, you know, to get those easy access points. The other big differences you'll see are going to be in, again, as we mentioned, the graphic user interface. So you're going to have this orb-like effect as the main home screen. As one of the options, you're going to see here this orb-like effect playing across the screen. You can have your album artwork displaying right there. You can slide this side. Go ahead.
I'm going to ask a question that everyone's going to ask. Is there any way to design custom
Backgrounds?
moving backgrounds?
There's a new feature on this model. It's called the JVC Portal app. So the closest that I can get you to that is when we are on the Portal app, and I think if we slide our 2 fingers across, I'm going to take you, by the way, you see HDMI across there, rear camera. Okay, so these pictures going across the screen, this is one part of the Portal app, and there's a question mark up here in the corner just to try to get your attention to click it, and it says, favorite images in your phone can be shown by installing JVC Portal app.
Oh, so to pull them right off your phone.
So it pulls it off your phone without having to upload to a USB.
Oh, thank God.
Another reason not to have to do USB. So that's one way that you can go. However, when we go into the setup menu, you're also going to see that you have another selection that you can use the JVC Portal app for. and that is in the Wallpaper Customize. So Wallpaper Customize, live wallpaper, again, one of the unique differences between the two models. But when you go to Static Wallpaper, you're going to see you can just select different static wallpapers, or the one that says no image, a favorite image, can be used in your phone registered as a wallpaper by installing JVC Portal app. So you can change both the actual the photos that go across the main display there as one of the widgets, or the wallpaper itself. So although not moving specifically,
good enough, man.
Close.
I mean, at least they
cool.
finally made it easy in order to change the background image. So
easy access to be able to adjust your subwoofer up and down, be able to change your EQ there on the operation tray on the right side. You'll notice you can switch to split widgets here, so you can have other information display whatever you want to see. Your EQ. You can change the way the compass looks. So just really, really graphically pleasing.
Yeah.
And then one of the other last things I'll mention here on this model is that you'll see in the audio setup menu, we have something that we call K2 technology. So K2 is turned on right here, and what K2 does is it, for all practical purposes, it takes compressed music and it digitally uncompresses it and makes it sound the way the artist intended it to sound. And that stems from our Victor Studios in Japan. That's a JVC technology that's built into this receiver. So again, that helps to separate some of the dominant feature differences between the receivers and the way the graphic user interface looks. Now, if we want to switch over to the Kenwood, unless there's any other questions
I want to get
now
a top.
on the
Can you get a
JVC?
top down on these, Fernando? And what we want to look at is these are the two different mounting options, because the mounting is the same.
Yeah, there's an inward position and an outward position. So if you look here, the inward
Yep.
position's using those plastic flat clips, where the triangular angle-looking ones are used in this configuration, where you unscrew the bottom of the receiver. Maybe we'll get a chance to do that in a few minutes, show you how that actually mounts together on
well,
there.
if not, we'll save that for the unboxing video.
Absolutely. And then, of course, the screen can go up and down 4 different positions.
So if yeah, there we go. So yeah,
there's
you're
your
right. It
angle
is
adjustment.
way easier to adjust once you get the screen in there. Okay.
But yet extremely solid. It does not move, even when you're going on a rocky road.
Yeah. One of the questions asked while I was watching is the screen resolution the same on all the monitors?
The screen resolution is the same.
There you go. Screen resolution is the same.
It is our brightest, best screen ever.
Yeah, I know. It's yeah. Okay. this one was just like it's like 2001: A Space Odyssey. You know, that dream sequence part of it. Really cool. What do we have?
So this model here is the DMX1037S. Now, just about every feature is shared on these receivers between 3 different Kenwood models, with a couple of specific differences. We mentioned the Exelon reference models have the X-covered chassis, the tuned audiophile grade components, and the 3 sets of 5-volt pre-outs. One other big differentiating factor that I alluded to earlier is that the Exelon reference models, as well as the JVC model, actually have a parametric EQ. So with the parametric EQ,
Say what?
this is a selectable on-off function. By default, it will be off. By the way, another hidden feature is all the models that have the parametric EQ also have a 3-way crossover option.
So front rear sub.
Correct.
So and you can use the amplifier output for tweeter mid, and then obviously the rear RCA would be subwoofer, or you could use front rear. The front and rear RCAs would be tweeter and mid range.
And in the manual on the 2 Exelon reference models and the JVC model, it explains the button sequence that you have to press in the standby source mode to put it in 3-way crossover mode.
Okay, because you can't accidentally do it.
You cannot accident. Well, you could by if you're.
Yeah. In a perfect
Believe me,
storm,
I've
you
seen
can.
it happen.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, right,
just
fair
wanna
enough.
dodge it.
These models.
Yeah.
But yes,
So, parametric EQ you said was off.
parametric EQ is a selectable option.
On
Now,
all-
since we have these powered up, we can show it on the JVC.
We can do it on the
model
JVC
now,
too?
let's-
All right.
because I'll actually take us to the screen here on the regular line so you can see where that would be. So first is we'd have to have an active source playing. We're going to go ahead and go into the setup menu, and I'm going to go to audio, and you are going to see that we have several different selections here, a little bit different access to get into your dual zone. But
Oh
for
yeah,
now,
okay.
we want to go ahead to sound effect, and that's where you're going to see the parametric EQ.
Oh, it's easy
So
enough.
This says if you don't know what you're doing, don't do it. But we're going to say yes, and then we're going to go into setup, and then that allows you to adjust your high and low shelving filters, high pass, low pass filters. You do have easy touch display. Response time is second to none. We've got that down now, and you can adjust all these things, and you guys can explain how all this stuff works 10 times better than I can.
So this
but
looks
I know the
this.
basics.
Okay, now that I'm watching you do this, this looks very familiar, very similar, I should say, to the app on the 600 DSP.
There are
Similar.
some similarities in the way that it looks.
Yes.
But this has.
This is a lot faster.
It definitely
A
is.
lot faster. Dude, I don't think
It
I've ever
looks
seen
really
any EQ
faster.
move that fast. That is crazy. All right, let's pull this guy out. We'll move this guy back into place. You got a good camera view there?
Yep.
All right, I want to touch this. Ooh. So the nice thing is the screen actually hangs down lower than the knob. So I'm not, the knob isn't rubbing the desk. Oh, and it's got rubber on it. It's got the silver. Oh yeah, and it clicks. I like the click.
Questions that get asked about the differences between the DMX1057XR and the DMX1037S. To notate the Exelon, you're going to see that there's a chrome or a silver look right across the panel here in this area. So if we show what it looks like, you'll be able to easily distinguish between the Exelon and the non-Exelon models by that. Other than that, the actual screen printing of the Kenwood logo and the Exelon logo are on the top of the panel itself.
Yeah, they're both. So the logos are here. But yeah, so this silver right here. Ooh, look at that.
Yeah,
Cosmetic differences.
It's like the Camaro when they did that to make the RS look different. Okay, let's talk about this.
Okay, so this is the Kenwood model. Now, other than going through some of the differences, for the most part, as you'll see, the way the graphic user interface works, the way that it interacts with iDatalink Maestro on all three of the Kenwood models is going to be very similar, so we can demonstrate it on this specific model here. Now, there's a lot of things that we put into this receiver, and I'd like to take you on a little bit of a tour through them. The first is going to be, all right, so here we go.
Here we go.
First is going to be the home screen. So very similarly, on the home screen itself, you're going to see this photo slideshow mode. Now, the photo slideshow mode, you can, again, connect your phone to via Bluetooth with the Kenwood Portal app. So that's called the Kenwood Portal app, and that's going to allow you to change the photo slideshow images. It's also going to allow you to change the wallpaper itself. So anytime I'd like to, I can go ahead and select that and make that be full screen across there, so you can see the images that you have from your Kenwood Portal app on the display.
Wow.
Or
so
you
is it cropping in to do that panel like that?
So yeah, I would. It's actually changing, yeah, the cropping of the image itself to be able to give that effect.
Nice.
Wow,
which is a neat effect.
Nice.
It's like it's like Ken Burns.
Yeah. So if you press the home button, it'll take you back, revert you back to the main screen there. Now you can slide, you see the little dots at the top there, to be able to change what is displayed in this section. So this would be the album artwork displayed right here. This would be the equalizer that would be playing. So we'll have to get a flash drive or something with audio on it here in a moment and show what the equalizer looks like. Now this down here is something that, you know, you're going to look at this receiver and you're going to say, well, there's not a lot of buttons on it. There's not a track up and a track down.
Correct.
But we implemented this nice little display here so that at any point in time you have easy access to your track or your channel info. And then if you touch this expanded box option, you can go directly here. These are actually preset buttons for all of your different presets.
How many presets is that?
So I think it's 20, 18 or 20.
Oh, geez, you just scroll sideways. Never mind.
Yeah,
wow,
so
that's
we've got
crazy.
15 on FM and 5 on AM, so 20 total.
20 total.
Yep, so 20 total. So easy access there. Now, the right side of the screen, this is going to be your driving display widget. So the driving display widget is going to have several different options. The first is going to be your clock, because every year somebody wants a bigger clock, or they don't want a clock, or they want a traditional style clock. Whatever you want, we've got the clock.
Oh, you got the clock now?
We got the clock.
We got
All
the
right.
Mots?
So you've got your clock option there. You've got your clock option down below digitally.
Oh, wow, look at that. Okay, there's your...
You've got your compass option. Now, on the DNR 1007XR, that will turn into turn-by-turn lane guidance if you have an active route going. But it's always going to be a compass because it has a GPS antenna, so it knows what direction you're going.
Right.
Next up, you're going to see that you now have instant access to an equalizer and subwoofer level control from the home screen.
Oh, subwoofer level on the home
You
screen?
can change this. You can touch it to go directly to the source, as you can with the other options. So yeah, sub-level control directly on the home screen. Touch it to go to the full audio menu.
Wow. You know, somebody asked about, this one has wireless CarPlay, correct?
Wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android
all
Auto.
4 of them do, right?
All 4 of them do.
Yeah.
And you almost have to shut your eyes to not make it connect. It's so easy the way that it works on these. It really is a simple procedure. So again, easy access to an EQ on the driving widget. Then you're going to see your camera widget option.
Yeah.
So depending upon what you have selected for your camera, it could be your rear camera. You could have other camera selections here. If we were to go into our camera assignment settings, I'll show you how that will expand. Now next up is going to be something that usually was reserved for the Garmin navigation receivers. This is going to be the weather widget. The weather
widget going to work now on the Garmin's?
Now it's going to work on the non-Garmin's on the Kenwood models. So again, 5 years of the weather widget service.
And that's coming through the
It's so simple to do. You literally
Well, I downloaded the
If you pair your phone via Bluetooth to this receiver, that could be dangerous right now if you're getting calls coming through during the show. But if we were to do that,
I just downloaded the Kenwood Portal app.
so there's the Kenwood Portal app. So that's
yeah,
fun.
because I figured I'd take a look at it.
If you want to connect your phone via Bluetooth to this receiver,
yes.
okay, we've got you in pairing mode, the DMX1037S.
Wait, hang on a second. Is it gonna work? No. Not
Try
that
again?
screen. Oh. There we go.
Oh, nice.
Try
So-
twice.
So DMX1037S. So go ahead and select
There.
pair on your phone. I'll select yes on the receiver itself. And then you'll see some selections that pop up.
Use wireless CarPlay.
So we're going to say yes, and then it'll go ahead, it will make its connection, and then you're set. And what that'll allow you to do, it caught us. Says the GPS antenna must be connected to use CarPlay wirelessly.
All right, hold on, I got a GPS.
So key point there, must have that GPS antenna plugged in. So,
All right.
and again,
let's
this would
go
be the
back to
GPS
Fran.
antenna with that white tape on the end that's included in the box.
I'm looking for it. There we go. Got it. Use the front focusing ring. I turned off autofocus so it stopped searching. All right, plug this guy in here. Okay, we got a GPS antenna plugged in.
Okay, so GPS antenna's plugged in. Now we should be all set. It should show that now we
Focus
should
ring.
be good to go
Focus
on
ring.
Apple CarPlay wirelessly. It disconnects the Bluetooth, of course, to be able to use CarPlay.
There you
Turn
go.
that back on.
All right, so now we've got that good to go. You should be set up. You should be connected on your end.
Hang on, let me turn off the do not disturb.
Okay.
Let me plug my dock connector. Alright, and
Okay, so we should be good there. We should be good for Apple CarPlay.
Mr. White is from Reservoir Dogs. Just saying, in case you guys, because I always get, what is that about?
Okay, and then you're connected, brings up Apple CarPlay wirelessly. It's really nice to use Apple CarPlay on a screen this big, by the way.
Oh,
So
It's
that's so
silly.
annoying.
it's been fun to be able to do that. Okay, so the other thing that you would have to do is you'd have to download the Kenwood Traffic powered by INRIX app to be able to get the weather widget to display.
All right,
So
hold
if you
on.
type in Kenwood Traffic on your phone, you'll see Kenwood Traffic powered by INRIX, which will then get you your 5 years of free service. While you download that app, I'll go ahead and take you back to the display here, and I'll show you that we've got a few other driving widgets which are going to be reserved for iDatalink. Now I want to wait to talk about that, so while Dean's connecting the Kenwood Traffic powered by INRIX app, take a look at a few other things. We included HD radio on all 4 of these receivers. So built-in HD radio tuners on all 4 of the models. Being able to move your icons from one place to another, simply just press and hold, move from one to the next. Page icons from one to the next. If we go here, we can go to the setup menu, and in the setup menu, you're going to see several different options. We can go in through here, user interface, but this is one of my favorites. It's called source setup for remote control. Now the source setup for remote control, see, I told you were going to get interrupted during this, and you are. That's okay. When we go into source setup remote control, you can actually disable specific sources.
You don't have to
So
touching
wireless mirroring, if you don't use a specific source, if you don't use iPod, now when you're toggling through your steering wheel controls, it'll just take you to the sources that you listen to most often.
Okay.
Same thing with the remote control. So we'll go ahead
So,
and turn
okay.
those back on.
Because I wasn't paying attention. This allows us to turn off the annoying sources that we don't have.
That's it.
Yes! Dude, you know how frustrating that is.
People like you ask for these changes, we implement them. Sometimes we can't do it instantly, but
No, I mean, it's only
it's in
taken
our
20
minds.
years.
Hey,
No, but like, you know, you
Finally.
don't have to go
It's there.
through all
I
of
know,
them.
it's like the
Just-
best
there.
thing ever. Oh my gosh,
there.
thank goodness.
all right. So do we have the app on the phone?
I have the app on the phone.
Kenwood Traffic powered by Inrix.
I have
If you've
the
got
app.
the app on the phone, we're going to go ahead and
I can skip all this crap.
you have to put in first name,
Oh,
last
okay.
name, and email. No password, nothing like that.
All right, let me do that real
So
quick.
quick put in that information on there. We're going to go back into a tour of the setup menu, which is as exciting as can be and not nearly in some regards. Camera assignment settings. You're going to be able to, as we talked about, select your front camera as a dash camera. But we also want to be able to notate that both the front camera input and the third view camera input have a mirror on-off option. So that means you can use any of our cameras and use them as a front view camera or a rear view camera. So the CMOS-740 HD, our high definition camera, can be used on this model as a front view camera or a rear view camera, which is different from the prior generation of product. So this is brand new on this new platform, being able to mirror the image from your front camera input. So we'll select that as the front camera. Third view camera also has a mirror option.
Oh, okay. So the mirror option's finally back in.
Yes, that means on the JVCs you can use the KW-CM30 model camera as front camera, left or right, whichever you'd like. And then on the Kenwood models, again, you can use any of the Kenwood cameras, CMOS-230, CMOS-130, or the CMOS-740 HD, which we have here with us today for true high definition, really the safest backup camera experience.
Is there a DVR camera?
The DVR camera, meaning the DRV-N520
I'm
dashboard
thinking.
camera,
Yeah.
that
So-
is one of the inputs. You could use that as a front camera or third view camera. So if you take a look at the front view, it says front view / dash cam.
Okay.
When you have the dash cam selected, you would just select that on the display itself.
Okay.
Now that we have a few more cameras selected here, we'll go ahead, we'll select this as a left camera. Earlier we talked about when you were on that main screen, this driving widget that we had showed a single camera. Now we can select any of the cameras on the display there. So again, just the driving widget, you have easy access to always monitor whichever camera you'd like to monitor. Okay, so now
that'll pull up the dash cam.
so that would be the dash cam as well.
Okay.
Right
sweet.
there. So you could see that, or
Alright.
you can go in traditionally to the dash cam setup menu. Okay, so now we've got this connected. It shows that you've got your 5 years of service remaining. So what it will do now is it will try to get the information from Inrix, and it will then show up the information across the display here. So it may take just a second itself to be able to get that. It may be just cell phone service depending upon how strong we are inside of here. Or Inrix. So hopefully it'll show up in just a few moments. So we'll come back to that. So that's good to
Yeah.
go. We'll let that data try to transmit over and display there. And it'll show the rain in motion, sun in motion, so on and so forth. So we'll have that up here in just a few minutes.
It did ask me to connect over Bluetooth. Is that normal?
All it needs is a Bluetooth
Okay.
Bluetooth connection. Does everything wirelessly again.
Even though
eliminating the need
CarPlay is
for-
connected, that doesn't affect it?
Doesn't affect it at all.
Okay.
Nope.
All
Okay.
right. Back to the screen.
All right, so here we go. If we go back into the setup menu, a few other changes that were implemented, not necessarily changes, but some new things this last year that also apply to this. The rear camera message. A lot of people complain about having the message across the display there, so you just select clear after 5 seconds, and then it won't be blocking if it happened to be blocking something. Because the panel is so large, probably not going to be blocking something like it would have on a smaller receiver, but it's there, so now you know it's there.
While we're talking about cameras, is there any way to trigger the cameras?
Is there any way to trigger the cameras? The answer to that is not analog triggers for anything but the rear camera input. That is the only way to activate it. But you can activate it.
If it's part of an RR system, will that?
There you go. You can activate it through the iDatalink port.
So if the car is, so if the car is iData compatible to control the cameras, then it will also work through this.
Right, which is how you can get it to turn on your left camera automatically upon your left turn signal activation. Same on the right camera.
Ooh. Will it integrate with an RR2?
It will integrate with an RR2.
Can you use the RR2 to trigger the camera?
You could use an RR2 to, in fact, use what we call our accessory controls, which we happen to have.
Did I jump the gun?
Well,
I'm sorry if I jumped the gun. I was just reading that question, and I was like, that's a good question. So I'm sorry if I jumped ahead a couple pages.
I think it's worth it, because this is where it's going to get exciting. So
okay.
These models are all compatible with iDatalink Maestro RR. The traditional RR, you're going to get what you're used to getting. That's going to be your OEM retention of things like climate controls if they exist, OEM sources, K40 radar detector with a compatible
tires,
K40.
Tires, check engine lights.
The full gamut.
Yes.
However, with the Maestro RR2, you are going to get some exclusive features on these receivers. The first of these is going to be what we call the accessory control. So with the accessory control, you actually have 3 selectable outputs. So you're actually getting 3 triggerable quote-unquote sources. And I've just named some here, but there are several different selections that you can use. One of our employees actually has it set up to say garage, and it just opens and closes his garage door with what he has set up at home. So you know, sky's the limit with what you can do with this.
Because the RR2 has 3, they don't call them EXTs, but like triggers that you can do many different things with. So there's 3 triggered outputs that you can control from the face of the radio.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it. So this really expands whatever your imagination can come up with. It's really a matter, you know, the RR2 is the power horse here, and we're just the GUI that's supplying the ease of access to be able to do whatever you're going to wire up as.
So we can change those icons to anything we want?
So it has specific icons when you go to flash your Maestro RR2 that are named.
That's part of the software.
Yeah. And but it doesn't mean you're limited to just those functions, of course, because it's whatever you want it to do. You can name it something different.
I got to play with the beta.
It may just have a certain number. All right, so accessory controls, that's huge.
Yes.
That's exclusive to the RR2.
And that's a drop-down source that you can have. You can move down to the bottom here if you want.
Yeah, and in fact, you should just take these and just put them right there.
Yes.
We'll take vehicle info, we'll put it right there. Let's go ahead, slide over. We can take our radar detector, we can put that right there. While we're at it, of course, you've got your gauges. 2 pages of gauges that are available. You touch the icon.
I was going to say, does this do the where you can hold?
If you touch it, it will go to the needle, and then if you press and hold, it would go to the corresponding menu. If we actually had one installed in a vehicle right now, it will not do that with how we have it connected, but it will do that with the vehicle to let you make those selections. You're going to notice that, again, your home screen, we selected these icons here, so I'll go ahead and select the radar detector. So now, not only can you connect a K40 radar detector, a compatible K40 radar detector, but with the RR2, you can also connect several Escort models. So any Escort model that is compatible in this configuration, and you'll see that on Escort's website, you'll be able to have.
I have one. It's really slick.
It is pretty cool the way that this works.
Yeah.
So you've got your big screen here with that. However, I'm going to go ahead and take us over to a different little screen that we have, and I'm going to make a selection here and here. And now we actually have 3 screen selections on the side. So you've got your radar detector display,
Wow.
you've got your tire temperature and pressure, and then you've got your climate controls, because that's what we have currently set up. So again, just like our other widgets, I can go ahead and get instant
That's the
access
coolest thing.
to all of those screens, even though it looks like one specific widget, and then make the changes directly on the display itself. Of course, these are going to be vehicle specific,
Yes,
on vehicle specific
definitely.
functions. But you know what? There's something else that I really enjoy, and this is probably one of my favorite features, and I know you gave a little teaser to your audience a few days back about this, and that's completely okay, because it's pretty exciting. And this is going to be, it has the ability to integrate in, as long as you're using, of course, the RR2 on compatible vehicles, and this is going to be OEM ADAS. So your lane departure, your front and rear collision alerts, you're going to have displayed across the screen there. And you know what? I don't even like it on that side. I want to be able to see it easier when I'm driving, so I'm going to go ahead and put it on that side over there. A little bit easier access to be able to see that information. Want a little bit more information here, you can expand, retract that. So it really is customizable to how you'd like to use it. So huge feature with ADAS. We know how important that is. We know how important safety is as our company for all of you, and it's very important to us as well. Now you're going to see some other iDatalink features. We mentioned vehicle info earlier. This is something that I always like to point out because it's huge. Yes, if you have a compatible vehicle that allows it to do this, when the check engine light is on, it will show you what the specific code that's active is, and then it will actually reset that check engine light code without you having
Unless
to go
that code actually means something, in which case it pops right back up.
That's right, that's right.
So I did find that it will clear the code once, and then if it comes back up, it ain't clearing it again.
That means get to
the
service center.
Yeah, that
Correct.
means that you do actually have something wrong with your car. Who knew? And get
Maybe
it
you
fixed.
just left your gas cap open, and by
No.
screwing your gas cap
Yeah.
on, you were in good shape.
was never that lucky. No,
Never that
that
lucky.
hurt.
All right, so we've got a few other things with, you've got your OEM satellite radio retention that could be a possibility.
On certain vehicles.
Certain vehicles.
Through
And that's
the
again,
RR.
now, that's RR. This is RR, not RR2 specific. The RR2 specific is going to be
The switches.
your accessory controls and your ADAS, lane departure, front rear, OEM collision avoidance, and then again the escort radar detector controls. And we talked about gauges. Parking assist, you're going to see on-screen display for OEM parking sensors. These can be side sensors. Your instant access to your
Did we fix the
separate
direction of the
cameras.
car?
Right now?
No, I mean, did we? Okay, so yeah, okay,
Yes.
so it's this way.
Yes.
Yeah, because
It used to be sideways.
yeah, it drove me nuts.
Yeah.
Every
So
time
we
I'm backing
got-
out of the garage, I'm going, wait, it's going the wrong way.
Yeah. So just referring to the car being sideways.
Yes.
And when you're
Right.
looking at it, naturally, you would think that would be
Yes.
the front. So you can see the front windshield there. So yes,
Okay, we fixed that.
we got a lot of yeses on these receipts.
Hey, trust me. You remember what it was like 10 years ago.
Yes,
Next time, bro.
we're getting there. and
So
better.
fun. And yes, Fang of Truth Call it says even Dean is learning stuff he didn't know. Yeah, that's why I'm staring at the same thing you guys are staring at, because yeah, a lot of this is new to us. I mean, we've had a pre-release version of this, but it wasn't a fully functional, like, don't talk about it kind of thing. So I'm having just as much fun as you guys are. I was playing off my phone, right?
Well, and this could be the OEM iDatalink sources that we've got going on here.
Okay.
So it has just some demo
So some
mode
demo
music
stuff.
that's going on. So you can see the actual information that comes across here. If we go to change the widgets themselves, you can see that would be album artwork if it was displaying, if it had some sort of album artwork or not. But a lot of fun stuff going on there. No data available yet on the weather widget. We'll see if that comes on maybe during the next power off or on.
Yeah, I was
maybe
gonna
we
say.
should do that. Let's power this off,
Right there.
and then
right
we'll go
behind you.
ahead.
Oh, no, you're
just
gonna do-
this,
oh, he's gonna
just
do it
this.
his way. Never
That's-
mind,
we're
he's
just
gonna
gonna
hit the
power that
button.
off. People like to see how long it takes to turn on. You know, it still takes a few seconds. The models that have the Garmin take a little bit longer naturally.
Yeah, it's 'cause you gotta load the map.
The Garmin navigation.
That
but-
stays up for 10 seconds if you don't want to hit it, right?
Yeah, it stays
Still
on for 10 seconds. Yep, if you don't want to.
Which
so-
I like to refer to as the time it takes you to back out of your garage. So if you have your backup camera, by the time you've backed up, the whole little thing is gone.
You do see Apple CarPlay just automatically connects wirelessly, so nothing you have to actively do there. Very simple procedure to be able to make any changes with Apple CarPlay. So the reason I mentioned that is when you go into your setup menu here, you will see that there is a device list. So you have a device list for Apple CarPlay, for Android Auto, and for Bluetooth.
Oh.
And this is what easily allows you to change from one to another to another to another.
Nice.
That's
so
a cool
toggle
feature.
between your different devices.
Well, because we found now that like a lot of people have like an iPhone for work and Android for personal, and yeah, it's always been kind of a pain. That's cool.
So easy access hard buttons on the receivers themselves you see here. The menu button itself, you can press and hold to be able to turn the attenuator function on. Again, quick access here. You can take these, switch them from side to side. When you're on your HDMI as a source, so we'll go ahead and if we select, for example, we can go to another screen, doesn't matter here. We'll just use the compass. Let's go ahead, we're going to select the HDMI as a source. Don't have anything plugged into it, but now when we go back to the main screen, you'll see that the HDMI is actually displaying here, but we can select this to take us to that screen. Or
wait. Go back to that for a
we can
second?
switch it into a different mode. So if we go here, you
Can
can see this right here.
Can we have
That will switch it from traditional mode.
Can we have this playing like this and something different playing at the same time? 2-car mode?
Well, this would be, for example, the this is just the HDMI source.
Yeah.
You'd have your driving widgets that can display over here.
Well, what I'm getting at is, let's say I'm screen sharing an HDMI out. Oh no, I couldn't do that anyways.
No
Well, let's say,
HDMI.
okay, so let's say I had an can you do that with any other source other than HDMI?
Well,
so you get where I'm going with this?
So
like if
that's only going to, yeah, I do see where you're going. So that's only going to be active itself. So when I select another source like USB, now that selection is gone.
All right.
So
I got you.
The point with that is just that it allows you to put it into either a vertical or a horizontal mode.
Perfect.
Yep. So vertical or horizontal.
You see where you're getting me excited
full
about?
Screen.
Like it'd be cool if you could have like Anyways.
Yeah, because everybody always wants more.
I know. Hey, I'm no different. I'm just like you guys. What's the screen resolution on this?
There you go.
Yeah. So this is going to be 720p, so 1280 by 720.
There you go.
So
finally something other than 480.
Yeah. So the best of the best in a vehicle type environment, and that's what is also going to be with our CMOS-740 HD camera. So that gets you true 720p.
Why don't you come around back here? What have we leave anything out?
A ton.
I know we
just
have.
Scratched the surface.
But let's talk about the camera real quick, and we got one other thing that we want to bring in. Is there any magic feature we haven't talked about that you want to cover?
We've covered a lot of.
I know, because everyone's head is
going
to explode at this point.
We'd have to stay here all night.
All right, well, let's not do that. Let's grab the new camera, and let's take a look at that. I'm gonna switch off.
You can grab your camera.
Yep,
and,
come over here.
Okay, so before we go into that, let's just give away this headphone now.
What is the question, Fernando?
The question is, what is the technology that JVC uses for audio?
Yes, we did cover that in the menu.
All right.
We actually made a point of going back to that and talking about it in the menu. All right, so you keep an eye on that if you want to come over and use my laptop so you can kind of scroll through that. So the first person to tell us what that one feature was and what it is called. It was in the audio settings that we took a moment to talk about.
And that's only on the JVC.
Yeah, so the JVC.
That's
the
what the difference between the JVC and the Kenwood.
This is important to talk about.
Okay. Let me grab the camera from him, and that way he can keep an eye on that. All right. We're going to talk about important stuff here, people. Pay attention.
We are.
All right.
As we mentioned earlier, the CMOS-740 HD camera on last year's model product, or current non-10.1 inch models, was only able to be used as a rear camera on the models that supported it, that had that resolution. Now, because they have the mirror camera option, this is only a rear camera, but it mirrors the image, so of course it can be used as a front camera. You can now use this as a front or a rear camera on the Kenwood 10.1 inch models, exclusive to Kenwood. Again, one of the differences. Now, these are using a technology called HDTVI, High Definition Television Video Interface. There are some companies out there that use AHD, which stands for Analog High Definition. Now, can you use a camera that is an AHD camera on a receiver like ours that supports and has the decoder for HD TVI? The answer is no. It must be a camera that is HD TVI. There may be other third-party cameras that use that technology that could feasibly work on our receivers.
Okay. We haven't tested any and we're not going to name names.
And there'd be no reason to, because at $200 map price point,
that's a
you
good
can
price.
get a high-definition camera directly made by us, truly automotive grade. Now, just keep that in mind that, just because it says HD doesn't mean any old HD camera will work. So,
Point.
makes the most sense to use this camera itself.
And we got, I'm going to take a look at the end here. So we have a nice, all right, hold on, I'm just going to turn autofocus back on. Box is back. So we have a nice small end here. So this will easily go through grommets. How long is this cable? Do we know? 20 feet?
Oh, it's approximately 20 feet.
20 feet, okay. And then we have a standard power box, standard fuse. So, I mean, from installation-wise, this looks pretty normal. Top of the camera is where the logo is. So if this is upside down, your image would be upside down. Does it come with any mounts or anything like that?
What you're seeing is what you get.
What you see is what you get.
There you go.
There you go.
All right.
So if you have a cool laser, you can make a tag for it.
Hey.
Just saying.
And
All right.
we have a winner.
We have a winner.
We have a
Nice.
winner. 25 hertz to live.
Oh, did he win?
He won.
Way to go, man.
Yeah,
He doesn't like my finger. Because your finger is gross.
Yeah, he actually was the first one. Says K2 Technology. So congratulations, you're gonna get.
All right, so
Congrats.
gonna win these. carstereotalk@yahoo.com. Email me there. carstereotalk@yahoo.com. Email me and I will get back to you and tell you what you need to do. Thank you for playing. All right. One more. Okay. There's always one more thing. We have one more thing. We weren't even going to talk about these, but they're so cool. I want to talk about them. Plus, they came in white boxes, which means no one else has seen them either. Let's grab a pair of those, and we'll see what we got here. As we talked about today, a lot of cool things. Lights. I like lights. Who doesn't like lights? All right. Let's pull these out. These are the new Kenwood marine speakers with lights. So there's lights inside of these?
Oh, that is not right.
These
there
are
that you're
not the
looking
lighted
at.
ones.
All right.
They were the lighted ones.
They were the
at some point. At some point.
You took the
They turned it off. So
What the heck?
no more lights.
You pay your light bill.
But let's take a look at these.
Okay.
Oh, these have tape and sealant on them. So
These are the better ones. All right,
So
I
let's
gotta
see, maybe.
Yep,
Oh,
yep,
yes,
there we
these,
go.
These will show. So these, I believe, these are the JVC lighted marine speakers. So we have both Kenwood and JVC in a white and a black LED lit marine speakers that are going to be shipping at the end of this month.
So do they come white and black in one box, or do they come in a pair of white, pair of black?
Pair of white, pair of black.
Okay, so you got to pick up front. You have your standard inputs here, and then these are your LED, daisy chainable LEDs.
Up to 6 pairs can be connected together.
6 pairs, 12 speakers.
Yeah, what's really unique about these, number one, we do use an IPX5 rated circuit board on these. You will see that on these speakers, everything's included. It comes with an RF remote control.
Probably in the other box.
Maybe in the box, maybe not.
Maybe not, because these are straight white box, which means that these are right off the plane.
Yep, these are samples. But again, RF remote controls, you've got your up to 98 foot of range,
Does
non-directional.
each one come with a remote control?
Each pair of speakers, so
Yes.
2 total speakers, each box comes with 1 remote control.
So if you break one, lose one, you have backups.
If
you're
you
doing
have
if you're doing multiple
speakers,
pairs,
which you
So-
should do anyways.
As soon
Yes.
as you pair it, you can control everything with one remote.
Up to 6 pairs with 1 remote control.
Okay.
Yep, and you've got multiple different types of lighting effects. But what's key here that's really different with a lot of manufacturers, as you see, we're not the first to the game to have LED
Sorry.
lit marine and motorsport speakers. But what we are is we're including everything in the box. We're trying to make this a simple solution.
Thank God. You know what this looks like? This looks like what's that little 3-wheel thing?
Yeah. Okay.
Thing that Aaron just got done with.
The slingshot.
Slingshot. This looks like the slingshot front end. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I mean, you see what
To
I'm
me,
saying?
it looks like a speaker.
Oh shush. God. You're the worst.
And if it looks that good like a speaker, just think how it sounds.
Oh,
Wow.
look at that.
Yeah. Oh, the cone is clear. Oh, so is the light coming through the cone? Or where's the light? Oh, man. Okay. So the cone is clear.
Yes.
I'm excited. All right, let's just. All right, my head's gonna explode. This was way. All right, guys, this has been a lot of stuff tonight. So please feel free to go back and rewatch as many times as it's gonna take in order for you to get it. Because I know I will be. I'm
So let me
lost.
ask you this. Right
Yeah.
now, if they want to go and look on the website, they're on the website right now
So-
just to look the specifics.
So our LED Marine Motorsport speakers for Kenwood are on the website.
Mhm.
Our LED Marine Motorsport speakers for JVC are live and on the website. So
Okay.
you can get both of those. The CMOS-740 HD, in fact, all the cameras that we talked about today are live and on the websites. The
Kenwood's website.
10.1-inch models themselves are going to go live on the websites around the middle of the month, around the 15th. So
Yeah.
again, the reason we did this show ahead of time was because critical aspects like being able to take this black plastic, put it in place, and screw it down to ensure that the receiver, that's what makes it powers on. It also is great for the looks themselves. But we wanted to make sure that all of you were able to hit the ground running
Yeah.
when you do purchase these products. So live on the website around the 15th, which should be literally just right around the time that we start shipping products here within a matter of days. So I'm going to be shipping all 4 of these models this month. So really excited about that.
So check the website. Check any of you dealers for these beautiful pieces, man.
And I know I promised us being able to take more questions, but I think you answered more questions than we could possibly ask. So, if you guys do have questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments down below. And I'm not going to say that Seth will hop in there and try to answer them for you, but Seth may try to hop in there and answer them for you if there's enough of a need. Or I'll ask him, if I see the same question 10 times, I'll just find out what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully we did cover things. I tried to move quickly.
Dude.
Oh, no,
and
and
just go through
we
a
had
lot.
4 brand new technology radios with some amazing features.
I'm upset we're at the time where we are. I'd like to keep going and answer some questions because it's exciting. It's just, we've been waiting so long. It's everything's finally coming out.
Did we say when the units
we're
are going to be
excited.
released? We said, what, 2-3 weeks?
Yeah.
Oh, we covered that?
Yeah,
Okay.
we did.
Well, hey,
Literally
listen.
days.
And honestly, we're gonna have a full unboxing review on one of these models.
Yeah.
So just stay tuned for that.
Not saying one's going in the Camaro, but one's going in
It's
the
gonna be
Camaro.
correct. Yeah.
It has a dimmer wire. I'm set. That's all it takes for me. I'm easy. As long as it'll dim when I turn on my lights. Because, yeah, that other one didn't. All right, guys. Let's thank... let's try it one more time. All right, guys. Big thanks to Seth for coming in. What's up, Jeff? And doing this fast download of 4 of the coolest new products to hit this market. Just to recap, you have the regular Exelon model, which is the
DMX1057XR and the DNR1007XR.
If you're a big fan of the JVC line because you like the hypnotic, trancy, Pink Floyd-esque display screen, that is the
KW-Z1000W.
And if you're no holds bar, best of the best, thank you so much. I want every feature you could possibly cram into a double DIN with a 10-inch screen. That is the...
Should clarify, that is the DNR1007XR, and then not to be left out, the regular Kenwood line DMX1037S.
I think that's where I was going with the first one.
There you go.
All right, so we got lots of new stuff. Thanks you guys so much for playing along with us. Congratulations for winning the cool headphones. Yeah, we're going to call it there, guys. You guys have a wonderful night.
Thank you, man.
Hey, thanks Fernando, thanks Dean, thanks to all of you for being a part of this.
Thanks so much. We had a great time, and we hope you guys had a great time too. We'll see you later next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.